The cold void of space stretched endlessly, dotted with stars that shone like distant diamonds. Among them, the massive structure of the Galactic Council's orbiting citadel hovered silently. It was a place of power, where the most advanced species of the galaxy gathered to make decisions that could shape entire star systems. Yet today, the Council awaited a newcomer, humans. Humans, a species that most had dismissed as primitive, fragile, and predictable. The Council members whispered to each other, their voices low, filled with skepticism. "They are late," said Lauren, a tall, scaled diplomat from the planet Zyra. Her multiple eyes flicked toward the vast observation window. "And they are so small, so fragile. What could they possibly offer us?" "They are nothing," replied Krath, the winged ambassador from Viralia. "I doubt they even understand what this council represents." But across the vast chamber, a quiet hum began to build. A portal opened at the far end of the council's hall. Through it, the human delegation entered, and the room seemed to shiver, not from cold, but from the sheer presence of something unexpected. The humans moved with calm precision. Each step was measured, every motion purposeful. They were not flashy. Their suits were simple, not ornate like those of the alien delegates. Yet there was a confidence in their stride that drew attention. Even the most skeptical council members paused. At the front walked the human ambassador. His name was Marcus Hale. Broad-shouldered, with a calm expression that seemed to see everything, he carried no weapons openly. But there was an intensity in his gaze that made the council uneasy. Marcus stopped at the center of the hall and bowed respectfully. "Honored members of the Galactic Council," he began, his voice steady. "We come in peace. Humanity wishes to join this gathering not as servants, nor as subjects, but as partners in the future of the galaxy." A murmur ran through the chamber. Some aliens chuckled. Others exchanged incredulous glances. "Partners?" Krath's voice dripped with sarcasm. "You expect us to accept humans as equals? You are barely a century into space travel." Marcus smiled slightly. "Perhaps, but we have learned much and we continue to learn. Underestimating humanity has always been a mistake." The room fell silent. That one phrase, "a mistake," lingered in the air like a warning. The council president, a massive creature named Orith, who had tentacles lined with delicate sensors, leaned forward. "You speak boldly for your kind. Very well. Let us see what humanity is truly capable of. You will undergo the standard assessment." Marcus nodded. "We are ready." The assessment was not what most delegates expected. It was not a debate or a test of knowledge. Instead, it was a simulation. A controlled environment where each species demonstrated its ability to think, strategize, and, if necessary, defend itself. The humans entered the simulation chamber, a vast room filled with shifting terrains, holographic enemies, and complex puzzles. The council observed through a massive viewing dome, expecting the humans to falter. They did not. At first, the humans moved cautiously, analyzing the environment. Their movements were simple, almost too simple. Many council members whispered among themselves. "They are slow, predictable," one muttered. Then something changed. A holographic ambush appeared designed to test the humans' reflexes. The aliens expected panic, hesitation, perhaps failure, but instead the humans reacted with uncanny precision. They anticipated the attackers, coordinated silently among themselves, and neutralized threats before the council could blink. Lauren's eyes widened. "This is unusual. Too unusual." Krath's wings twitched nervously. "They are fast. Too fast." The humans did not act like most species. They were not relying on superior technology or alien abilities. They were relying on something else: instinct, strategy, and a kind of raw cunning the council had never seen before. One human, a young woman named Elena, crouched low, observing the pattern of holographic enemies. With a sudden burst, she moved forward and disabled multiple targets at once, using only her environment and timing. Another human, A tall man named Raj created diversions that confused the simulated opponents, allowing his team to advance safely. The council members whispered in disbelief. "They are hunting," Lauren finally said, her voice trembling. "This is not defense. This is predator behavior." Marcus and his team completed the simulation without a single mistake. They exited calmly, their expressions serene as if nothing remarkable had happened. Yet the council knew better. Something had shifted in the room, a realization that humanity was not just a simple species. They were something far more dangerous, far more unpredictable. Orith's tentacles quivered slightly. "So, this is humanity," he said. His voice carried a mixture of fear, awe, and something deeper, respect. "You are hunters." Marcus inclined his head. "We fight to survive, but when necessary we fight to win, and when necessary we hunt." The council members looked at each other. Some were pale, others were silent. None of them had anticipated this. None of them had expected humans to activate what they later would call predator mode. Outside the observation dome, the stars seemed to shine a little brighter, or perhaps it was only the reflection of the council's shock. Somewhere deep in the galaxy, humans had taken their first real steps among the stars, and the council had witnessed it in real time. A low hum echoed in the chamber as Orith leaned back in his seat. "Perhaps we have underestimated them," he muttered. Marcus did not respond. He did not need to. The message had already been delivered. As the humans left the simulation chamber, whispers spread throughout the council hall. They are not just fighters, they are hunters. And in that moment, the galaxy began to realize that humanity was far more dangerous than anyone had ever imagined. But the council did not know everything yet, not even close, because what they had witnessed was only the beginning. And somewhere deep in the council's data archives, alerts began to flash. Warnings, signals, something stirring, something that would make the next encounter even more unforgettable. For now, the humans were gone from the chamber, calm and quiet, but the memory of their presence lingered like a shadow that whispered one simple truth to every member of the Galactic Council. Do not underestimate humans. Ever. The Galactic Council had barely recovered from the first encounter with humanity when the decision was made. Humans would undergo a formal assessment, not a debate, not diplomacy, but a test of strategy, reflexes, and intelligence. The Council intended to measure them and, perhaps, expose their weaknesses. From the observation chamber, the alien delegates whispered. "They will fail," said Lauren, still shaken by the humans' calm efficiency. "They may have done well in a simple simulation, but this is real strategy. Humans are unprepared for this." Krath shook his wings in annoyance. "I do not fear humans. Their victories are flukes. We will see now." The test chamber opened. A massive arena stretching for miles, filled with shifting terrain, holographic enemies, and complex obstacles. Light panels flickered, creating shadows that danced across walls and floors. The humans entered as a team, their faces calm, unreadable. Marcus led the way, stepping carefully but confidently. Elena followed, her sharp eyes scanning every corner. Raj moved behind, observing patterns, calculating angles, predicting outcomes. The council watched, expecting hesitation, confusion, maybe fear. They were wrong. The first challenge was a holographic ambush. Alien instructors triggered waves of attackers designed to overwhelm the humans. Council members leaned forward, certain that the humans would stumble. Instead, the humans moved with unpredictable coordination. One distracted the attackers while the others flanked from blind spots. Simple tools were used with deadly effectiveness. The holograms fell one by one, neutralized faster than anyone thought possible. Lauren's multiple eyes widened. How are they doing that? Their reactions too fast, too smart. Krath's wings twitched nervously. They are not following normal patterns. They are thinking differently, like predators. The humans were not just reacting. They were anticipating. Each move was calculated to the last detail, but fluid, almost instinctive. The council members whispered among themselves, uneasy. Suddenly a new obstacle appeared. A maze of walls, shifting floors, and energy barriers designed to trap and confuse. Most species would panic, retreat, or make mistakes. Humans? They paused, analyzing the maze silently, then split into two teams. Elena moved ahead, studying patterns of the barriers, while Marcus and Raj took other routes, signaling silently with hand gestures. Within moments, they had mapped the maze mentally, moving through it as if it were a straight path. The aliens watching could not believe their eyes. They are improvising. They are thinking like hunters, Lauren said, almost in a whisper. Then came the final test of this round, a simulated battle against a superior alien force. The holographic army was larger, faster, and armed with advanced technology. The council expected the humans to fail spectacularly, perhaps even panic. Instead, Marcus raised a hand, signaling his team. What followed was terrifying in its precision. The humans divided, flanked, and used the environment to their advantage. Energy blasts were dodged. Traps were turned on enemies, and one by one, the holographic attackers were eliminated, not through brute force, but through strategy, observation, and sheer cunning. Krath's jaw dropped. Impossible. They are not fighting normally. They are hunting. Elena paused, crouched behind a barricade, and observed a pattern in the holographic enemy movements. With a sudden motion, she lured several into a trap and disabled them simultaneously. Raj created decoys that distracted others while Marcus moved in for the final strike. The holographic battlefield went silent. The humans had completed the test flawlessly. The council members stared at each other in disbelief. Orith, the council president, leaned forward. This is unexpected. They are not simply reacting. They are predicting, calculating, adapting. Faster than we anticipated. Smarter than we anticipated. Marcus stepped forward, calm as ever. We do not act blindly. We observe, we analyze, we adapt. That is what survival teaches us. A low murmur spread through the council chamber. They are not just humans. They are predators, whispered Lauren. Krath's wings twitched nervously. If this is how they perform under a test, how will they fight in real conflict? For the first time, the council began to understand that humanity was unlike any other species they had faced. They were not relying on technology alone. They were relying on something deeper, instinct, strategy, and intelligence combined. And in the quiet observation chamber, a single thought spread through the minds of the council members. We may have underestimated them, gravely. Outside the chamber, stars sparkled innocently, unaware of the storm that had just begun. Humanity had passed the council's test, but in doing so, they had awakened a fear the galaxy had not felt in eons. Marcus looked at his team. No words were needed. Each knew what had been achieved. The council had learned something critical. Humans were not just fighters. They were hunters, and the galaxy had just taken notice. As the humans exited the test chamber, calm and collected, the council convened urgently. We must rethink our approach, Orith said. If this is the beginning, then the future is far more dangerous than we imagined. The humans walked silently, their faces unreadable, but in their eyes burned a quiet intensity, a warning unspoken. Do not underestimate humanity. Not now, not ever. And somewhere deep in the observation system, sensors blinked warnings. Alerts about human capabilities, patterns, and potential consequences began to accumulate. The council's unease grew. Humanity had passed the test. But what came next was unknown. The Galactic Council had gathered again, their faces pale with disbelief. No one had expected humans to perform so flawlessly during the test. The room buzzed with quiet tension. They are not just smart, they are dangerous, whispered Lauren. Her eyes, usually sharp and analytical, were wide with fear. Krath's wings twitched nervously. I do not like this. They are unpredictable and fast. Too fast. The council decided to escalate the challenge. This time it would not be a simulation. Humans would face a controlled battle against real combat drones, equipped with advanced weapons and sensors. The drones were designed to overwhelm any species, even the most experienced fighters. Marcus and his team entered the arena. Their steps were steady, their expressions calm. The council observed, expecting hesitation, fear, perhaps even failure. The drones activated. Bright lights flashed, sensors scanned, and weapons powered up. Most species would panic in such a scenario. Humans? They analyzed the battlefield silently, their eyes scanning for patterns, weaknesses, and opportunities. Then the first strike came. A drone fired its energy beam. Elena rolled sideways, narrowly avoiding it. She ducked behind a barrier and then leapt forward, using the environment to her advantage. Another drone aimed at Raj, but he anticipated its trajectory, dodged, and redirected its energy blast into another drone, destroying it instantly. Marcus moved in the center, commanding silently. His team responded without a word, their coordination seamless, almost instinctive. They were not fighting like ordinary humans. They were hunting. The drones increased their attacks, firing faster, targeting weaknesses. But every move the humans made seemed to anticipate the drones' actions before they happened. Elena created diversions. Raj disabled weapon systems and Marcus struck with precision. Lauren's voice trembled. "This is beyond strategy. They are predators," Krath whispered, his wings trembling. "It is like watching an apex predator in action. Calculating, patient, and deadly. The drones were designed to adapt, learning from each human move. Yet the humans adapted faster. They anticipated, countered, and neutralized every threat. At one point, a high-ranking council member's drone approached too closely, testing the humans' reflexes. It was a trap meant to intimidate. But Marcus saw the pattern instantly. With a single precise move, he disabled the drone, leaving the council member shocked. Orith leaned forward, tentacles quivering slightly. This is not training. They are not defending. They are hunting. Every move is calculated. Every strike. Precise. It is terrifying." Elena and Raj moved silently, using shadows and obstacles to outmaneuver the drones. Their tactics were simple yet unpredictable. They were not relying on weapons alone. They were using intelligence, instinct, and strategy combined. As the final wave of drones activated, Marcus gave a subtle hand signal. The humans executed a coordinated strike that left every drone disabled or destroyed. The arena was silent. Not a single mistake had been made. The council members stared, stunned into silence. For the first time, some felt fear. Not of humans' technology, but of their minds, their instincts, their ability to hunt and dominate. Krath finally spoke, his voice low and shaken. "If this is only a controlled battle, imagine what they would do in real war. Imagine what they would do when cornered." Lauren nodded. "We underestimated them. We all underestimated them." Orith, the council president, leaned back in his seat, his sensors trembling slightly. "The humans are not just a species. They are a force. We have only seen the beginning." Marcus and his team left the arena calmly, wiping dust from their suits, speaking quietly among themselves. To anyone watching, they looked ordinary, disciplined, and human. But the council had seen the truth. Humanity was unlike anything in the galaxy. And in that moment, a chilling realization swept through the chamber. The humans were not only capable of fighting, they were capable of dominating. As the council convened urgently, whispers spread. "They are hunters, apex predators. We cannot predict them. We cannot control them." The humans had not only passed the test, they had sent a message, one that the entire council would remember. Somewhere in the galaxy, a quiet hum began to grow, almost like the echo of a predator's footsteps. The council knew they had just witnessed the first real strike of humanity, and they would never forget it. The arena was silent. Smoke from the disabled combat drones lingered in the air. The council members, once confident in their superiority, now felt an unease they could not ignore. "They are different," whispered Lauren. "Not just skilled. They think, they adapt, instinctively." Krath's wings twitched nervously. "We have tested many species. None have moved like this. None have hunted with such precision." Marcus and his team walked calmly from the arena, their movements unhurried. To the council, it seemed as if they had done nothing extraordinary, but every eye in the chamber was on them. and every mind understood something crucial. These humans were not ordinary. The Council decided to escalate further. They would now observe humanity in a controlled yet unpredictable scenario, designed to simulate chaos and test their true instincts. The humans entered a massive simulation chamber, filled with shifting terrain, flashing lights, and multiple holographic enemies. But this time, the simulation was dynamic, changing constantly to confuse, trap, and overwhelm any species. As the simulation began, the Council members watched, expecting hesitation. But what they saw instead was terrifying. Elena crouched low, scanning the environment. Raj analyzed movement patterns of the holographic enemies. Marcus observed the team's surroundings with an almost unnatural focus. Then, without warning, the humans split into 3 groups, each moving in perfect coordination, yet unpredictably. The Council murmured. "They are dividing and conquering like a single mind," Lauren whispered. Holographic attackers surrounded the humans, firing lasers, energy blasts, and traps designed to confuse them. Other species would panic. Humans? They flowed with the chaos, dodging, attacking, and predicting every move of their enemies. Elena lured several enemies into a trap she created using the shifting terrain. Raj manipulated energy barriers to block attacks while redirecting enemies into dead ends. Marcus moved silently, striking with precise timing, neutralizing threats before they even knew what hit them. Krath's wings flapped nervously. "They are predators, calculating, ruthless, and calm." But the most shocking moment came when the humans cornered a simulated alien commander, the most advanced holographic enemy in the chamber. Council members leaned forward, expecting the humans to make a mistake. Instead, Marcus paused. His team encircled the commander, but they did not strike immediately. They observed, calculated, waited for the perfect moment. Then, in a coordinated move, the humans struck simultaneously, disabling the commander in a single, flawless action. The Council gasped. "They are thinking like apex predators, not fighters," Lauren said. Orith, the Council president, leaned forward, tentacles trembling slightly. This is not mere combat. It is hunting. Strategy, instinct, precision, all combined. They are extraordinary." The humans exited the simulation chamber calmly, their expressions neutral. To them, it was only another test, another challenge overcome. But to the Council, it was a revelation. Humans were not just strong, smart, or lucky. They were a new kind of force. Krath spoke quietly, almost to himself. "If they act like this when challenged, imagine when they are truly provoked. Imagine when they fight for survival, not in a test." Lauren nodded, a shiver running through her multiple eyes. "We may have misjudged humanity, gravely." Orith's voice was low, almost a whisper. "The galaxy has never seen this before. The humans, they are not just clever or adaptable. They are predators, and we have only seen the beginning." Outside the observation chamber, stars twinkled as if unaware of the storm humanity had awakened. The humans had passed every challenge, yet the Council knew that their full potential had barely been touched. And somewhere deep within the Council's archives, alerts began flashing. Warnings about humanity's instincts, adaptability, and strategy were being recorded. The Council realized that humans could be unpredictable, unstoppable, and terrifying if provoked. Marcus turned to his team. No words were needed. They had shown the Council enough for now. The message was clear. Humans are not just fighters, they are hunters. And in that quiet moment, the Council felt a chill that would linger for years. Humanity had awakened its true potential, and the galaxy would never underestimate them again. The Council chamber was silent. For the first time in recorded history, a species had entered their halls and left a trail of fear and respect in its wake. "They are remarkable," whispered Lauren, her multiple eyes flicking nervously toward the observation window. "We have tested them, observed them, and yet, we still do not understand the full scope of their capabilities." Krath's wings flared slightly. "Remarkable is one word. Dangerous is another. They act like predators, like apex hunters, and yet, they are calm, disciplined, precise, terrifying." Orith, the Council president, folded his tentacles thoughtfully. "We may have underestimated humanity entirely. They are clever, adaptive, but there is more, something primal, something instinctive. Other council members murmured agreement. Some were pale, some were silent. The humans had not merely passed the tests, they had redefined the council's expectations. They fight with strategy, Lauren continued, but they also fight with instinct. They observe, they predict, they strike, and they do so without hesitation or error. Krath's voice was quieter now, almost fearful. If this is how they act under controlled conditions, what would happen if they were truly threatened? Or if they were cornered? Or angry? The room fell silent again, heavy with the weight of realization. The humans had shown the Council a glimpse of something never before seen in the galaxy. A species that combined intelligence, instinct, and sheer adaptability. Orth's eyes, lined with delicate sensors, scanned the faces of the Council. We must consider our next steps carefully. Humanity is not merely a participant in the galaxy. They are a force. We must decide, do we prepare to contain them? Do we ally with them? Or do we continue to underestimate them as we once did? A ripple of unease spread across the chamber. Some members whispered that humans should be monitored closely. Others feared provoking them might be catastrophic. One voice, quiet but firm, spoke up. They are not reckless. They are controlled, but their potential, it is limitless. If we fail to recognize this now, the consequences could be unimaginable. Outside the chamber, the stars continued to shine, unaware of the storm brewing within. The humans had returned to their quarters quietly, calm and unreadable, as if nothing extraordinary had happened. Yet their presence lingered like a shadow. They have taught us a lesson, Lauren said softly. Not just about combat or strategy, but about caution, respect, and fear. Krath shook his head slowly. We cannot underestimate them again, ever. The humans. They are not like us, not like any other species in this council. They are predators in their own right. Orth leaned back, tentacles quivering slightly. And we have only seen the beginning. Humanity's true abilities. We have yet to witness them fully. What they choose to do with their strength remains unknown. The council fell into uneasy silence. The humans had not fought recklessly. They had not displayed anger or malice. Yet the power they had demonstrated was undeniable. It was a combination of intelligence, instinct, and something primal that the council had never seen before. Lauren's voice, trembling slightly, broke the silence. We must remain vigilant. Observe them. Study them. They are calm, yes, but calm does not mean harmless. They are patient, and patience is the weapon of a predator. Krath nodded slowly. We have learned humility today. And perhaps fear, for humanity is unlike anything we have faced. Orth's sensors flickered as he spoke, low and measured. We must prepare for the possibility that the galaxy will never be the same. Humans are not just participants, they are apex hunters. And the question we now face is simple. Can we coexist with them? Or must we fear them? The chamber fell silent once again. Outside, humanity's delegation moved quietly through the corridors of the Citadel, unaware of the Council's quiet panic. They had completed the test, they had shown their abilities, and yet to them it was only another step forward. The Council had no answers, only questions. And in that moment, a sense of foreboding settled over the chamber. Humanity had awakened a new chapter in the galaxy, one that would be remembered and feared. The council chamber was tense. Every delegate felt it, a mix of awe, fear, and disbelief. Humanity had already shown remarkable skill, but now the council wanted to see the full measure of their capabilities. This will reveal everything, Orth said, tentacles quivering slightly. We will observe their true potential. There will be no mercy, no control. Let us see what humans can really do. The humans entered the grand arena. It was unlike anything they had faced before. The floor shifted constantly. Energy fields created barriers at random, and advanced combat drones attacked from every direction. The challenge was meant to be impossible. Marcus led his team calmly. Elena's eyes scanned the arena, calculating every angle. Raj moved silently, already predicting enemy movements. They did not hesitate, did not panic, and did not show fear. The moment the drones attacked, the humans' actions became almost supernatural in precision. They moved as a single unit, anticipating each strike before it happened. They used the environment perfectly, Barriers, shadows, and obstacles became weapons. Elena lured several drones into a trap, disabling them all in one swift motion. Raj manipulated the energy fields, redirecting attacks back at the enemies. Marcus struck at weak points with surgical accuracy, each movement fluid, deadly, and almost instinctive. The council members leaned forward, stunned. "This is impossible," whispered Lauren. "They are predators. Perfect predators." Krath's wings flared nervously. "I have studied countless species. None have moved like this, none have dominated so completely. The humans were not just fighting, they were hunting. Every decision was precise. Every strike was calculated. They were a force the council had never imagined. A holographic alien commander appeared, the most advanced threat yet. It fired energy blasts, summoned reinforcements, and tried to trap the humans. The council watched, expecting at least one failure. None came. Marcus signaled his team. They surrounded the commander but waited. They observed, analyzed, and then, in perfect unison, struck. The commander was disabled in an instant. The council gasped. "They are Peck's predators," Lauren whispered, her voice trembling. "Not just humans. Hunters in every sense of the word." Orith's tentacles quivered. "We have underestimated them entirely. Their intelligence, their instinct. It is unmatched, and this is only what we can see. Imagine what they could do beyond this chamber." The humans exited the arena quietly. To them it was simply another challenge overcome, but to the council it was a revelation. Humanity was not merely clever, not merely strong. They were unstoppable when provoked. Krath's wings drooped. If we had faced them unprepared, the results would have been catastrophic. "We must respect them, fear them, study them, endlessly." Lauren nodded. "They do not fight like other species. They do not follow predictable rules. They combine instinct, intelligence, and strategy in ways no one can anticipate. They are terrifying." Orith's voice was low and measured. "The galaxy will never be the same. We have witnessed the rise of something new. A predator unlike any other. Humanity has shown its true face, and we must prepare accordingly." Outside the observation chamber, stars twinkled silently. The humans had left, calm and unreadable, as if nothing extraordinary had occurred. But the council knew better. Humanity had revealed its full potential. The council members realized that this was only the beginning, that humans could adapt, overcome, and dominate in ways the galaxy had never imagined. And deep within the council's archives, emergency alerts began to flash. Warnings about humanity's instinct, strategy, and hunting ability accumulated faster than any system had seen before. One thought echoed in every mind of the council. "We have seen what humans are capable of. We cannot unsee it, and we cannot underestimate them again." The humans had not fought recklessly. They had not shown anger or malice, yet the power, precision, and patience they had displayed made one thing very clear. Humanity was not just a species. They were predators. The arena was silent. Smoke and sparks from the last simulation lingered in the air. The humans had exited calmly, their expressions unreadable. To them, it was simply another challenge, another demonstration of skill and strategy. But the Galactic Council was not calm. They had witnessed something they could not ignore, something that changed the way they viewed humanity forever. "They are unlike anything we have faced," Lauren whispered, her multiple eyes wide with fear and respect. "Not just skilled, not just smart, but predators, calculated, patient, merciless when necessary." Krath's wings twitched nervously. "We underestimated them at every step, and now, I'm afraid of what they could do if truly provoked. If we push them, if we corner them." His voice trailed off, leaving the thought unfinished. Orith, the council president, leaned forward. "Humanity has shown us a truth we cannot ignore. They are not ordinary. They are not predictable. They are apex hunters, and the galaxy must prepare for them." Other council members murmured agreement, some pale, some silent. For the first time, they were united not by hope, but by caution, respect, and fear. Outside the observation chamber, the humans moved through the corridors of the Citadel, calm and composed. No one could see the quiet intensity in their eyes. They had completed the tests. They had revealed their strength, yet their full power remained untapped. "They do not need to boast or threaten," Lauren whispered. "Their actions speak louder than words. And what we have seen, it is only the beginning, Krath nodded slowly. We must rethink our approach. Every plan, every strategy involving humanity must change. They are unpredictable, unstoppable, and patient. And patience is the weapon of a predator. Orith's tentacles quivered slightly as he spoke, low and deliberate. We have witnessed their capabilities and we must respect them. But what we have not yet seen is what humanity will choose to do next. Will they seek alliance, dominance, or something else entirely? A silence fell over the chamber. Even the most experienced council members felt it. A quiet tension, an unease that would linger for years. Humanity had proven its strength, but the future of the galaxy remained uncertain. Somewhere deep in the observation systems, alerts continued to blink. Warnings, notes, predictions, records of human performance that could never be ignored. Every council member understood the same truth. The humans were a force that could not be controlled, underestimated or predicted with certainty. And as the humans disappeared from the Citadel, returning to their own ships, the council members could only wonder. What will they do next? One thing was certain. The galaxy would never underestimate humans again. Their presence had left an indelible mark. Their potential was terrifying, and their instincts were unmatched. Humanity had awakened a new era, and in that quiet, heavy moment, the council understood the chilling reality. The predator had arrived, and the hunt had only just begun.